a medical expert is going to testify at your hearing. Okay, I've talked about this before, but let's pause for a second. There may be a variety of reasons why they're there. Okay, there may be a conflict in your medical records. Maybe there's one. Let's assume that let's say for instance you have fibromyalgia, and you've gone to two different doctors. One rheumatologist, another rheumatologist, and both of the rheumatologists are saying something totally different. One says it's fairly significant, and the other one says maybe not so much. And so there's some inconsistencies, and maybe you started with one rheumatologist, you went to this one, then you went back to this one, and you came back to this one. So now Social Security is like, okay, the judge is trying to figure out, who do I give more weight to? So as a result, the judge calls in a medical expert to look at the records as a whole and provide an opinion that's consistent with all of the evidence in terms of the level of your severity of your condition. Maybe they need them there to establish a date of disability. Well, for instance, let's say you have a chronic condition, okay? A chronic condition where you say you became disabled on this date, but by looking at the condition, it looks like you may have been severe. It looks like the condition has gotten progressively worse. So the Social Security, the judge may not agree with the date you say you became disabled, but may say, I think you're disabled, I just don't know exactly when, because the medical evidence doesn't really give you a clear-cut indication as to when it was at that point. So then you've got those scenarios. So you've got the judge may call in an expert to establish an onset date. It may be a unique medical condition that the limitations aren't clearly laid out in the records. So let's say you have something like Sjogren's syndrome, something like that, neurological condition like that, where you're having these problems, it's progressive in nature, and there's clear evidence in the file that there's problems, but we can't really tell what the specific limitations are. They may call a medical expert in just to testify about what specific limitations you actually have. So with all that being said, that could be just a few of the reasons. But here's the things that you need to consider going forward. First, make sure that all of your evidence is in your file. You want to make sure that if there's going to be a medical expert there, you want them to have a complete picture of your case. Also, review your file to make sure it's complete. So when you're going through the file, you want to make sure that if there's anything that's missing, that you want to make sure that information is in your file for the doctor. Here's the thing that throws a lot of people off. When the expert is there, you have a right to cross-examine them. Not yell at them, not tell them that they're lying, not disagree with them, but examine them, which means ask them specific questions about the evidence that's in the case as it relates to building and supporting your claim. The reality is that no disrespect to all the resources out there, it's an art to how you do it. And the reality is that a lot of these docs who testify, they've been in the game a while, so they know the questions. So you can't really come at them in a particular way if you don't have a strategy in place for what you're trying to get from them. If you're not sure how to challenge that doctor's testimony in terms of examining them, you might need to contact a representative. So if you have reason to believe that you have a medical expert, and they'll tell you in advance a medical expert is going to be there, and you're planning on going by yourself, if you think you can cross-examine them on your own, knock yourself out. However, but if you're not sure how to examine them in such a way that if nothing else, even if they provide some damning testimony, you can get certain testimony that could be helpful. If you're not sure how to do that, you might want to look for a representative to assist you. Because the last thing you want to be is a situation where you wait years to go before a court, and now you have an expert before you, and you're not totally sure how to get certain helpful information from them in terms of testimony. Again, remember, they're there for a reason, and you want to make sure that you present the best case possible. So if you're not sure how to examine them in such a way to get that information, think about reaching out to a representative to get some assistance at that hearing.
Tune in tomorrow as we have a straight talk conversation about your disability.